What is going on, guys? In this video, we're going to be going through a full B2B sales call breakdown. A ton of you guys hit me up all the time and you're like, yo, I don't know how to sell this for B2B. Sounds like it's only B2C. I promise y'all, I came from the B2B world. I'll show you guys exactly how you do it. You guys enjoy this video. As always, click the sub button down below. Stay to the end and I have a good surprise for you. Let's get into the video. Welcome to the call. I know that you came in here off, I think it was an ad around like growing your roofing business so you guys can make more sales. All right?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, amazing, man. So yeah, I usually start these calls by saying usually we go through a bit about your situation, see if we can't help, because believe it or not, there are some people that get on, they're better off just doing what they do. I'm sure you know what I mean about that though, right?
Yeah, I can see that.
Okay, cool. So for you, I guess, what is it that you saw or heard that made you want to look into this further?
Yeah, I mean, I saw the advertisement and I just want to see what you guys offer.
Alrighty, amazing, man. So I guess when it comes to growing your business, because some people come to us for more time freedom, business owners, they want more money, grow the business, help employees, etc. I guess for you, what's the main goal you're looking to achieve when it comes to growing your business?
I would say, because right now we're at around like $1 million a year. I want to be able to get that to two.
Two, okay. It's a big goal. So what do you feel like you need help with in order to get to two?
I would say like improving their skill sets so that we can get a lot more sales, because I would say that's the main bottleneck right now.
Okay, so when you say skills, like which skills specifically are you talking about?
I would say booking more appointments and closing at a higher percentage.
Booking more appointments, closing more. And are you guys like doing door to door, or how are you doing that?
Yeah, pretty much like mostly door to door.
Okay, so what do you feel like they need to get better at within their approach in order to convert more off the door?
Well, one, like overcoming whenever like they knock on the door and people say like they're not interested in the roofs, it's not the right thing.
Is that what they hear? Like, I'm not interested?
Yeah, they're like, I don't need a new roof right now. I already have one.
Interesting. How often does that happen?
Oh, I mean, that's like most people.
What even has you feeling like there's a better way to do it though?
I know like a lot of the times that they say that, it's smoke screens.
You're a smart man. Okay, so what type of process do you guys have for going and doing door to door, and also just like closing the sales that, makes you feel like you're not really squeezing the juice out of them?
What do you mean by like process?
Yeah, like when you guys are actually going up to the door, what's like the general framework you're saying, and then what does the process look like from that point on to convert them to a sale?
Oh, they're knocking on the door and they're like, hey, how's it going? My name's Paul with XYZ Roofing Company. And then they just like start doing the pitch from there.
Okay, cool. So like that process, have you guys used it since the beginning, or was that something you just implemented?
We've been doing that for 2 years now, like ever since we started.
Okay, that's fair. Now, any reason that has this been going on since the past 2 years, by the way? Like the inability to book as many appointments as you want to?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I got to ask, man, is there a reason you're still doing it that way? I don't say that as like a gotcha moment, just so I understand.
Yeah, because I mean, it's what I taught. It's what I was taught when I was doing door to door. That's what a lot of companies around the area use as well, and it's kind of like a proven process.
Interesting. Yeah, because like when we do it exactly like everyone else in the area, who do we look like?
Well, everyone else, I guess.
That's one of the biggest problems we see when people come to us. Now, for you, like, what do you feel like you're either doing or not doing when you're actually approaching the doors and in your process that has you guys not really performing at the level you want to? Just to see if like we're on the same page.
Doing or not doing?
Yeah,
Actually, the hard question. I don't really know. That's why I'm here. I guess like getting better at objection handling.
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, have you considered the reason you're even getting objections in the first place is because you and your sales guys don't have the correct framework in order to stand out from everyone else in the area, so you don't just look like another sales guy who's coming from XYZ Roofing Company who comes every day? Can you see how that might be an issue?
Yeah, I can see it.
Yeah, because like what do you have in your process now when you're approaching the doors that will allow you to distinguish yourself from everybody else, so you're not just getting grouped in the same bucket, which, as you know, helps us lose sales?
Distinguish? Well, in the sales process, not really. We just like do the introduction. We bring up the problem that the neighbors are having, and we just pitch them.
Have you considered that's the issue?
Well, now that you say it, I can see it. Yeah. I didn't really think about that before.
Well, I mean, you're smart for understanding that now. A lot of people will hear that and they'll be like, oh no, I'm just going to go back to my old ways. Now, I guess like for you, being that the initial approach up to the doors isn't where it needs to be, like what type of impact do you feel like that's having on, because obviously sales guys are emotional, right? What type of impact do you feel like that's having on like the morale of the team, handling with all those objections?
I would say we have a pretty high churn rate right now.
What's a high churn rate for you?
I would say like within like 3 months, 70% of them are leaving.
70% of people are leaving?
Yeah, within like 3 months.
Holy crap, man. And are you the one who's in charge of like training them and doing the onboarding and everything like that?
Well, I'm the company owner. I hired a sales manager, so I guess I'm in charge in a way. I hired him to do all of that stuff.
How does he feel about him having to retrain people every single
like month because the sales team isn't performing? Like how does he feel about that?
Well, he's probably frustrated because he's putting in effort and then.
Yeah, because like the sales, and it's good you're on the phone right now, right? Because like a lot of company owners will come to us and they aren't aware of how big of an impact like little things like that will make on the rest of the team. You know, like being a former sales guy, getting onto a team where the, like the process isn't totally dialed in, it makes me, what does it do to the salespeople's morale?
It's obviously lower because they're learning all of these things, but it's not really, they're not able to make the money that they want to make. Got to keep hiring, got to keep churning. It's not efficient.
Right. And what does that do to the efficiency of how you guys can grow?
Well, it slows it down.
So I guess later down the line, man, like what impact do you see that having on your ability to grow the company to $2 million a year like you want to?
This is it. Because if the sales process isn't good, we keep having to hire more people, keep having to not just fire more people, but they leave. And then we're just putting a lot of our effort into those guys to leave to different companies.
Yeah. So like what's even the main reason behind you looking at advanced help rather than just continuing to do what you've been doing for the past couple of years and just, I guess, put more salespeople through the funnel and, hope it figures itself out?
I just think that would be stupid. It's like the definition of insanity, right? Doing the same thing over and over.
You're smart for saying that. So being how that would be the definition of insanity, like not getting that advanced help, what have you done in the past few years in order to be able to get to the point where you and the team are at the efficiency you need so you can grow to $2 million?
I hired the sales manager.
Okay. And what, I mean, like, sorry, apologies. I mean, like, what have you done as far as like advanced coaching programs? Because as we all know, like the salespeople, they're going to sell like the sales managers are going to sell like the owner, right? So it kind of goes from top down. What have you done as far as like more advanced programs?
I tried like XYZ program.
XYZ. Okay. And how did that work out for you?
It was good. Like we went from 500 to $1 million with that one.
Okay. Really? So what do you feel was like missing, or what do you feel like prevented you from getting to $2 million a year with that one?
What was missing? I would say like more so of the objection handling stuff.
Some of the objection handling stuff. Okay. Like what were they actually training you on as far as objections though?
Like the very basics, like I'm not interested in all of that stuff on the doors.
Yeah. How did they coach you though? Like was that a bunch of coaching calls? Was that a course? Were they taking a direct approach to your sales guys? Like what did that look like?
Oh, so that company, like it was actually kind of like we hired them for like a month. They train the guys and then they just go. That's kind of how it worked there.
Oh, you did it for a month. Okay, cool. And have you done anything since then?
No, I haven't.
How long ago was that?
That was about like 8 months ago.
Okay. And have you noticed like the objection issue have not been fixed in the past 8 months, like that entire time?
Well, yeah, I guess.
Okay. What prevented you from doing something about it since then? It's a long time now.
I was just thinking, man, like we got from 500 to $1 million with that. I thought we could just keep doing it.
Yeah, I mean, that's fair. What shifted recently that has you thinking a different way?
Because I noticed that we're stagnant. Like looking at the monthly numbers and everything, it hasn't been going up.
Yeah. Well, have you considered that making decisions out of a place of like, oh, I hope it gets better and I hope that what we've been doing is going to get us to the next level? Like, have you considered that that's the reason why you've been in this position in the first place? Because like, what if you were proactive about it?
Like proactive? What do you mean?
Yeah, proactive. Like what if you were proactive about getting the skills you need? Like I'll put it this way, right? With MJ, the guy didn't use the same training in order to get from high school to the NBA to the greatest of all time. All right, like in the beginning, he learned the fundamentals that took him from A to B. Then he gets to college, he starts learning from other guys that took him from B to C. And then to become the GOAT, he needed a whole different training regimen. Right? Same thing goes for business. Business, entrepreneurship, and like professional sports are extremely similar in that way. So for you, like, have you considered that the reason why you're not where you want to be is because you keep on relying on the things that get you from A to B and not from B to C?
Yeah, I can see it. Yeah. It's just like I didn't really feel like I needed it though.
Well, yeah, and I understand. Everyone feels like they don't need it until they do. That's the unfortunate reality of business, right? You never actually make a change until the overweight person never loses the weight until they get told they're going to die of diabetes, Because the last year, what have you lost and what has the company lost because we haven't actually been committed to getting to the next level in this way?
Like, what do you mean by what have I lost? I don't.
Yeah, like in terms of revenue, in terms of time.
What I've lost in revenue? I mean, I don't really like thinking about the past like that, but that's why I'm here, so I can fix the future.
Okay, and I understand we want to fix the future, but in order to fix the future, sometimes we got to fix the problems from the past. Because let's take a look. Like out of you guys were doing around what in revenue a month?
Well, $1 million divided by 10, I would say average like 80.
Okay, 80K a month. And where do you feel like you could have been at if you had the right skill set on the doors?
If the guys were better, I feel like we could get to that. Well, one, if they were doing better. If they were doing better, we could definitely get to like $1.5 million a year.
Okay, so let's just pause right there. 1.5 million a year. All right, now what's the delta of that? 1.5 million divided by 12 months is how much?
15 divided by 12. I mean, I'm not the best at math in the world. I need to pull up my calculator. So that's like $125,000.
125,000. And you guys have been doing 80, so that's 80. So 90, 100, 120, 130, 140. So what's the delta there? Like what's the split?
45K per month.
Okay, 45K. So just opportunity cost speaking, what have we lost because we haven't done anything about it?
45K a month.
So what if you keep allowing that way of thinking of, okay, what came from A to B is going to get me to B to C. What if you keep allowing that way of thinking to prevent you from doing anything?
Then I'll just be in the same spot.
But what does that mean for you though?
It means the company is not growing.
Okay, right. So the question isn't, do you want to be the business owner who can get to 2 million a year? Because a lot of people want to get to that goal. All right, there's a reason why a lot of people don't. My question to you is, how committed are you to becoming the guy you need to be and start focusing on the next levels of your skill set to be able to get the team where they need to be? Because you really don't have to.
Yeah, I'm committed, man.
Okay, cool. So if we came in, we trained you, we trained the team, what do you feel like you would need to really make sure that you get from 80K a month to 130K a month?
Well, one, we would need a new framework, like a new process, like you said earlier, like not having it be the same as everyone else. And then two, like something that I can like really teach my guys.
Okay, cool. So with something you can really teach your guys in a repeatable framework, like how do you want us to train you how to do that? Because that's like the most important part.
Well, I wouldn't want just videos. I would want like one-on-ones and actually like speaking to someone that knows it from top to bottom, like on a really deep level, so we can ask questions.
Gotcha. So besides that, is there anything else you're needing?
If you guys could review our process and like make the little tweaks that we need.
Sure. Okay. That's solid. Now for you, like I know you mentioned 2 million in revenue. A lot of business owners come to us for different reasons. Like I mentioned earlier, like they want time, they want money. But the thing we see about the most successful business owners is they always understand what it is they're going towards, right? Like for Usain Bolt, if I put him on a 100-meter line in a high school stadium, he's going to run fast. But if I put him into a 100-meter line in an Olympic stadium with a gold medal line, he's going to run a whole lot faster. Do you know why?
Because he has a prize.
Yeah, well, I mean, like he has a prize, but it's also what the prize signifies. You know, for him, it's going to be the glory. It's going to be the feeling of being the champion for his country. You know, so for you, business owners are driven by different things. Why is it important to you to be able to get to 2 million a year? Like, what is that? How are things different at that point?
Well, double the revenue, man. More money.
Okay. Yeah, at some point, it's just X and does the bank account, right? Like, what do you really want out of doubling your revenue?
Well, I want to be the best. I want to destroy the competition.
Dude, I love that. I'm right there with you. Now, being the best, what is that? How are things different at that point than they are now, though?
Well, different, I would say. I mean, dude, like it's literally doubling your revenue. That's massive.
Okay. So what does that mean for like, do you have a family?
Yeah, I have a family.
Okay. So like, what does that mean for them if you were get to the point and you were the entrepreneur and you were the father, you were the provider who got to the point where his company is doing 2 million a year? Like, how would that affect the people around you?
Oh, I mean, I could retire my wife. She wouldn't have to work anymore.
Yeah. And because like, we got to realize, man, if being the best is how you feel in all these things when you get there, it's like, how do you feel now in comparison to that?
I feel good, man. Like we did come a long way from where we started. Literally last year we were at like 500K a year. Now we're at middle.
Yeah, man. I'm not saying you shouldn't feel good. Like honestly, you got to the point you're 500K a year. A lot of people don't get that. So kudos to you for that. But the thing is, as entrepreneurs, like we gotta level with ourselves, because if we go off the same like feeling scale as everybody else, then we're not gonna get where we want to go, right? As entrepreneurs, it's very important to get out of our comfort zone. Right. So is it fair to say that you're not playing the game to the level you want to?
Yeah, 100%.
So that's my question is like, how do you feel not being at the level you know you need to be at?
I feel ambitious. I feel driven to move forward to the next level and get better.
Right. And I know you feel ambitious. I know you feel driven, man. My question was more so like, how do you feel not being there though?
Well, it's frustrating, dude.
Now, frustrating, like how long has that feeling been there for?
It's been past 4 months.
Okay. So what we got to ask ourselves is, with everything staying the exact same, changing absolutely nothing, how close are you to being able to get to the point you're at 2 million a year with exactly how you guys are selling now?
The only way that we could get there is if we just hired like a massive amount of guys on the team.
Yeah. Do you think that's a viable solution?
No, it would cost a lot of money and then they would churn in 3 months.
Yeah, exactly. So it's great you know where you want to go. But the other side of the coin, which is almost more important, is like, what if we don't do anything? You know, I'm a big believer in you have to explore both, because people genuinely want to consider failure without success, or even success without failure. And that's why every entrepreneur, for the most part, like 99% of people fail. So for you, what if you don't get to experience what it's like to be the best and retire your wife and do all these different things because you never go from point B to point C and you keep on relying on the things that got you from A to B? What happens then?
Yeah. And I can, like, that's a good question, man. Like, you're really good at sales. But to be honest, like, yeah, I want to learn, but to be honest, I really don't think I wouldn't make it because I know myself, every goal that I have, I've been able to achieve.
Yeah, man, I don't doubt your motivation, but we have to look at the consequences if we don't. And the reason I say that is because let's take a look at the past 8 months. We haven't figured it out. So the only question is what happens if the past 8 months continue for another 8?
That's the thing, man. Like, I don't think it'll happen again.
Okay, well, a fat person doesn't think in the new year they're going to stay fat. What generally happens?
Yeah, they stay fat.
Yeah, and again, I don't doubt your willingness to try, man. You seem like a very driven guy. I'll give that to you. The thing is, I don't want you banking on hopium. Because at the end of the day, who's going to get there faster? The guy who has no ramifications of failure or the guy who actually has some things on the line?
Guy that has to make it.
Okay, so for you, what does that actually look like if you don't get there? You can be real with me, man. I'm not going to go post on Facebook.
Yeah. I mean, it'll be in the same spot, man. I've been in the same spot.
Now, what's the day-to-day feeling of that, though?
Day-to-day feeling frustrated. It's a choice. It's a problem.
Well, it starts with the choice. The choice is you not investing into your skills so you can grow the company. Are you willing to settle for that life as a reality, yes or no?
Of course not.
Okay. Time for a change?
Yeah, 100%.
Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Definitely be posting a ton more on this soon. If you guys want to go check out another video, there should be one up here right now. Or if you want to apply for more advanced coaching where I will train you on everything A to Z in sales, then click the link below and we'll see if we're a good fit.